Best way to get a job done is to have it organized and have a clear plan. And what you're looking at is my whiteboard that I have here in the shop. And this isn't so much of a plan as before it was when I would suddenly see something on the vehicle when I was working on it that I didn't want to forget that I either needed to eventually make that part or buy that part, source it, what have you. Also, I put some measurements up there since I was replacing the bed, so I knew exactly where mount holes were and the like. So what I'm going to end up doing is probably cleaning this board and creating a new list that is going to be what I'm going to try and accomplish to get this vehicle running and hopefully get it out and play in the field a little bit over here. Well, this is starting to feel like an episode of Roadkill, creating a list. At least it's not on cardboard. So I've created two separate lists. The one on the left is the must-haves. These are things I'm going to have to do to safely drive this. And the things with the star behind it are the things that I have to get done first to move it currently from this bay over into the other bay so I can put it on the lift, which will make it a lot easier for doing the brake work. So there's my list. It's time to get started. So I think I'm going to take the first thing. I'm going to start working on the clutch pedal and rod assembly. So before I start working on this clutch pedal, I thought I'd give you a look at the underside of these new floors with the floor supports that I put in. It was a couple months back. But most of it's been replaced except, well, you can see this one here is still the original one that was under the fuel tank. Also, I tried to make the pans like the originals were that had this removable panel. So I created the same lip and everything again. Here you can see the back half of the frame. So I only did half of the frame when I was doing the refinish work. So I guess I ran down with steam when I was wire brushing all this stuff. Alright, so go ahead and work on getting this clutch rod back, or pedal back in here, and making sure that the clutch is going to engage. I have the clutch pedal finished here. Had a memory card problem, so unfortunately we missed a lot of the process to get to this point. But I'll explain. The shaft here, inside of that was pretty rusty, so I did clean that, clean the keyway. On the shaft side, the key was actually sitting in there sideways and rusted fast, so I had to get that freed up, and then I cleaned the area. Keyway fits in real nice, slid the way it was supposed to be. The spring that was on there was pretty wore out. It wouldn't return the pedal all the way, so this is actually one I just temporarily put on here. It came off of an old snowblower, so it's got nice orange paint on it. Up inside, readjusted the clutch cable here. So now I'm putting my foot on the clutch. Everything is operating, and you can see the throw-out bearing. So pretty good about that. So I think we now have clutch. So I already wiped that off of the list, and I realized there was one thing I didn't put on this list was battery cables, because I'm missing battery cables, so we're going to have to do that then too. So I'm going on to the next thing here. The fuel tank, I think rather than installing the fuel tank, I am going to make a makeshift fuel tank. I think I'm just going to mount something temporarily, hang something over in here, and just do a gravity feed right over to the fuel pump. Because right now I'm just looking to move this to get it up onto the lift. That way I can get under this properly and do all the brake work. So basically I just want to make this so that I can fire it up and move it. So I think I'm going to rig up a gas tank a while. going to try and use some of this old wiring just to get this thing to run. And I'm just doing some very unconventional stuff, like wrapping electrical tape around the around the hot battery cable that's going to the starter from the solenoid, because it's missing so much insulation off of it. So just going to go around it with some electrical tape. Again, I'm just trying to get this so we can fire it and move it. I think I'm at a point where I'm about to just test this just to see if it'll run the starter. Well, let's see. I don't have any gas in the gas can yet because I don't think I'm quite ready here. What a mess this is. Alright, let's see if the starter turns. Nope. I got the switch unplugged. So I think I figured out the wiring now. I got a hot wire to the back of the ignition switch, and I think this battery's pretty low. I ran when I was doing some volt testing, it was testing just below 9 volts, or below 10. So I am going to give it a little boost here, and all I really want to do is just see if I can turn the engine a little bit. Plug in the charger. Alright, see what happens. So I just found that my hot wire for the coil to the resistor was disconnected. So hopefully this time we'll get something out of it. I don't have a whole lot of battery power here, so we'll have to see what happens. Okay. Well, I put a resistor in line here, so now I know I have 12 volts going to the coil. I cleaned the points a little bit, swapped out the battery because the other one was pretty bad, so I'm going to give this another try. Of course, I didn't test it to see if I have a spark. I'm just going to go right into it and see what we get. There we go, made all the difference. Alright, so I put some gas in the gas can over there, and now I'm just going to try and keep this running until it starts to pull some gas out of the can, and see how well she's doing. Also, I want to check to see if I have oil pressure. Okay, it would help if I hook my hot wire up to the coil if I want it to run. Alright, now we'll try it. Okay, maybe we should try a different position for our camera. idles pretty nice. I got a rebuild kit for this carburetor, so. Actually, choking a little bit seemed to help it. Yeah, I might have just ran out of gas. Mm-hmm. That's all for part 2 on this build with the Jeep. Next time we're going to be doing the brakes. It'll be all new hard lines, rebuild the wheel cylinders, and maybe then I can take it for a little longer test drive, because right now it almost does not stop. So, see you next time. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so that way you don't miss any of these episodes. You can follow us on Instagram. That way you can see all the previous build pictures on this, all the floor work and metal work that I did. So check us out there, or we're also on Facebook. Thanks.